Hello, it's Rebecca Logan, and today I am going to do a quick currently inked in which I don't actually write with anything. I just show you what has been written. Let's change my lighting a bit. So in November last month, I had a lot of pens inked. I started out with these guys up to here, and then I added more. I did an experiment with Inkabara Coral because it wrote so darkly and differently in my Platinum 3776 with the 14 karat gold soft fine nib. I put it in two other pens to see how it wrote in them, and very, very differently. You can see how different it is. And you may have seen the video I did about this. There were some really interesting comments on possible reasons why it wrote so differently. I also inked my Wonder Pens Model 45 from Franklin Christoph with Ferris Wheel Press Cream of Earl to see if it had changed colors like it did for Creepy Nibs. And yes, it had. I've since thrown that away because it's virtually illegible, and an illegible ink can't really be written with. I suppose I could use it with art, but I am not a using it with art kind of person. So this is last month's inks. I've put comments in. I wrote Brown Gray, the Inkabara Brown Gray Dry. The Wearing Gold Potato of Spring I enjoyed very much. It's such a potato color, is potato. But the nib needs tuning on this pen, so I'll send it away to Jack Hernandez. The Franklin Christoph Model 20 with Madame Mulberry in it, I really enjoyed it, but the ink started to bore me. So I cleaned it out. It was almost empty anyway. There was about a drop of ink left. Sailor Yuramaku Seki in my Model 20P. I loved just everything about it. The Velvet Champagne by Pannonia in my Leonardo Memento Zero and Bohemian Twilight. I eventually got bored with that. It just, the nib needs some work. So, yeah, I cleaned that one out. Same with this one. I would like a special grind on my Leonardo Memento Zero in Giada. I loved this ink, but I did get bored towards the end of the month, so cleaned it out. And my Colorverse Europa in the Faber-Castell Hexo was perfection, as always. Waterman Koran and Marine Amber. I still have that one going. That's actually my pen of the month in my Some Lines a Day book. Platinum 3776 Celluloid and Tortoise with Gold Antica from Robert Oster. This was nice, but I have to prime the nib every time I write with it. So once it was done priming, when you prime, you pump so much ink up front, up to the feed, that it writes really wetly and the ink goes really fast. So I didn't get a lot of writing out of that. So in December, in late November, I added a few pens. I added 3 new pens, but we'll see them in my December currently inked. So I have my Lamy 2000 in Macrolon with the extra fine nib. If you follow me at all, you've seen a Lamy 2000 with a medium Architect. This is my extra fine. I bought this pen because with my medium Architect nib, I was cleaning it out one day and I had taken it apart to flush the pen out, and I lost the clutch ring that has these little silvery ears on it down the garbage disposal, down the sink. And yeah, I couldn't get it back because of the blades in the garbage disposal. It was below the blades. So nothing I could do to retrieve the clutch ring. So I actually bought a new pen so that I would be able to use my Lamy 2000, because without this clutch ring, you can't seal the pen. The pen doesn't seal. or doesn't cap properly. So I had this as like a parts pen for years. And then I just found a place that carried the clutch rings for $8. It cost me more to ship it to me. The place I found it was stylo.ca or stylo.ca. It's a Canadian company, so it didn't have to cross the border to get to me. And it cost $18 in total, or just over $18, because it was about $10 to ship, which is crazy. But they did a good job of making sure the clutch ring didn't get mangled. They protected it with cardboard and plastic. So I'm loving this. I have it inked with Inkabara number 246 Earth. And that is a really nice, warm, soft brown. So very nice pen, very nice ink. Next up is my Retro 1951 Tornado in Black Cherry. And I have it inked in with Private Reserve Black Cherry. I'm just going the full Black Cherry. And it has, it's a cartridge converter. It has a nice fine nib. And the ink and the pen were made for each other. You can see what a nice match that is. Fine nib. Yes, I already said that. My Colorverse Hexo in Rose. I thought I had a few days of writing left. I do not. Yeah, it'd be empty. So this I will either refill or will clean out and put away. But you saw what happened there, didn't you? Did you see what happened there? So Faber-Castell is on only one of these 6. The logo is on only one of these 6 sides. But it doesn't matter where you start this pen. It stops with Faber-Castell at the top, lined up with the nib. There we go. Oops. There we go. I love that about it. A nice little detail. I do have another Faber-Castell Hexo coming in bronze with a fine nib. This is with a medium nib. I'm looking forward to that. Another Faber-Castell Hexo will be a nice pen. It's just got such a nice nib. It's pleasant to write with. Another pleasant writing experience is my Waterman Karen in Marine Amber. This is a warm golden reddish brown pen with gold trim. It has an 18 karat gold inlaid nib and fingerprints, lots of fingerprints. It's a medium nib that has been worked on by Mark Bacchus. When I first got this pen, I didn't realize the nib was such a soft gold, and I put too much stress on it and kind of bent the tipping sideways. So I sent it off to Mark Bacchus and he fixed it and tuned it for me. Now it is an amazing writer. It was a pretty good writer to start with, but it's an amazing writer now. And I have it inked with Sailor Yurameku Kitsune Biore. Kitsune Biore. Something like that. And it's very shady, very light ink, lots of shading, and I'm enjoying it. And last is a shimmer ink. I pulled out one of my TWSBI Diamond Minis to put the shimmer ink in because I am scared to put shimmer ink in most of my pens. I won't put it in anything with a gold nib, and I just out of sheer fear that I'll ruin the nib somehow with the particles. So it stays in a steel nib, and these TWSBIs seem to hold up really well to shimmer. Plus you can take the entire pen apart, strip it completely out, and flush it and get all the shimmer particles out. So that was my reasoning behind the TWSBI Diamond Mini. Also, I have the Diamond Mini in a medium nib and a broad nib. So I decided because this is a lighter ink color, I would use the broad nib. So here we are. This is the TWSBI Diamond Mini with Ferris Wheel Press Blushing Mushroom. And it is a shimmer ink. Oh yeah, there goes that shimmer. You can really see that at the beginning of each line there. The shimmer is a rose gold and the ink itself is a mauve. So I only have, well, because I wrote that dry, I only have 4 pens inked right now in December. I'm writing a little less. I go through cycles with how much I write in my journal, and right now I've been writing, instead of my usual 4 to 6 pages a night, I'm writing a page, maybe 2 pages a night. I can see myself winding down in journaling, so I don't need as many pens inked because I can't use as many pens. And I do have some pens coming in December and some pens coming in January because I have been on a shopping spree, or at least a buying spree. I have 2 pens coming from Jet Pens, including that new Hexo in bronze, and 9 pens coming from AliExpress. So they are from AliExpress. They're lower cost pens, much lower cost pens. I've got some in the under $5 range, so I don't know if I'll be doing unboxings for all of them or first impressions or anything like that, but I think I will for some of them, but definitely for the pens I've got coming from Jet Pens. So yes, there will be some new pens coming in the future. I'm hoping to ink those up in December, whatever gets here in December, and then in January for the rest. So thank you very much for sharing your precious time with me today. And yeah, enjoy ink, enjoy color, enjoy your pens. You chose them. Love them.